So hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you guys who are from my TikTok account, welcome. As per your request, here is my vlog. I'm just gonna share with you guys my experience in converting my UK license into an Australian license. Just a quick disclaimer guys, aside from this video is gonna be really long because I'm a bit rusty in my head. Aside from that, there is no direct conversion of a UK license to an Australian license. We have to go through New Zealand. It is possible through an act which is called Trans-Tasman Mutual Recognition Act of 1997. I just googled that actually. But anyways, later on I will show you the process, and in this video we're just gonna go through the overview of the process, the eligibility, the fees and all of that, and see if it's still for you by the end of this video. So let's crack on. So to start with, you have to go through a process of verification, which is through CGFNS NZ or New Zealand. So just a quick tip, when you are going through the websites here, what I do is I usually check that the websites are legit. So to do that, you just copy the URL and you paste it in this search box here in a website called Wayback Machine. Just paste the link here and hit enter, and you should get to a screen which tells you how old the website is. So usually for legit website, it's going to show you a good history, which you can see here. And if it's a fake or a scam website, usually not going to have a long history behind it. So this is just a quick tip that you can do. This CGFNS International NZ website is your first step. This is a verification service that you pay for to check your history, and there's a couple of eligibilities that we need to discuss in this bit. These are the requirements and eligibility as well. So to start with, you need identification documents. You can check here what are valid. You've got passports, driver's license, your resident permit, which is your BRP, and there's a couple of other documents that can be valid. Next eligibility is your employment history. So you have to have 2,500 hours of nursing experience within the past 5 years, or 2 years of experience within the past 5 years as well. So either or. Then you've got an education history. This is just to confirm with your nursing school back home. And you got your license verification. In here, as I mentioned, you need to have a valid license within the country that you're practicing, which is here, for example, UK or Northern Ireland, for example. And then your license back home should be valid as well. Finally, you have your language proficiency or your English language proficiency, where the accepted ratings are 350 for an OET. That's reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Or you have an option to use IELTS ACAD, and it's 6.5 for writing, 7 for listening, reading, and speaking. You don't have to worry about an expired IELTS or OET because you can waive this later on after CGFNS NZ has verified your employment history in an English-speaking country, alright? So you can just click on the next stages if you've done this bit already, alright? Start with, you just have to click Get Started here, and it will take you onto this registration form. You just have to fill in your details and double check that you type your details correctly to avoid any delays in your application. After you filled in your details, you can just click on sign up. It will send you a verification link to your email, which you just have to click that link to verify and enter a new password for yourself. Once you've got your password sorted, you've got your login details, you can just go back to this website. After logging in, this is the first page that you will see. So obviously this is a dummy account that I created for you guys. Start your application, you just have to create your profile. So you have to choose which type of service you need. For this one, you have to start with licensure with New Zealand. So click the first option and just click appropriate link for yourself. For myself, it's registered nurse, and then click submit, and it will show you how much you actually have to pay for. So as you can see, it's $300 US that you need to settle to start your application with the CGFNS verification process. You can upload a photo, but a couple of my friends and colleagues tried, but it doesn't really change, but I still did that step, so that's fine. The next one is you need to go to update your profile before you're making your payment. On here, you just have to type in your details. So we got your personal details here. As you can see, just fill it in as appropriate. You've got your contact information, identity documents. Just choose whichever you're gonna be choosing later on. Just fill in the details and take your time in these stages because you don't want any delays in your application, right? So, license and registration, this is now relating to your license back home and in the UK, for example. Registered nurse, country, for example, let's say Philippines, right? So just fill in the details, and then you go to the next stage, which is your employment history. So just fill in the details, and on here what I actually did was I asked one of my band 6 to fill in the form for me. So I used 2 hospitals, my hospital now and the previous hospital that I worked in, which is more than 2,500 hours, so should be more than enough for this stage of the application process. So that's your employment history bit, and you got your language proficiency bit, but again later on you can just waive this once CGFNS has verified your employment history in an English speaking country. After you're happy with your profile, you've checked all your details are accurate, you can go ahead and make a payment. So you go back to the home bit, which is here, and then just click on an option to pay on this bit here, but obviously it won't let me pay at the moment because I haven't done my profile correctly. Alright, after you've made the payment, usually they say it's gonna take 2 to 4 days, and then you will have the forms that you need to fill in and submit to the schools, NMC or whatnot. But for myself, as soon as I made the payment, I got the forms already at hand and I started filling in the forms. Now, most of the forms here are quite straightforward, like the identity documents, the English language exams. What I would say is you start with the more difficult ones, which are your school and your registration documents, especially back home. The NMC bit is quite easy as well. So this is your CGFNS National NZ part of your application. After you've uploaded all your forms and CGFNS has checked your details, validated them, CGFNS will give you a chance to double check everything, and when you're happy with everything, you can now proceed to the next step, which is now to apply for your New Zealand license. Before doing so, you need to authorize CGFNS by paying 485 New Zealand dollars. After paying, you will be assigned a case officer which will ask you for any clarification if there's any questions with your application and your profile. After paying that fee and the officer has checked your details, you can now proceed to the next step, which is an international criminal history check, which is going to check a police clearance for all the countries that you lived in, and it's going to be 165 US for every country that you lived in. For myself, I lived in the UK and in the Philippines, so I just have to pay 165 times 2. Alright, now I know some of us have been to Middle East, to Singapore or whatnot, so those are going to be extra police checks, so add that in your budgeting for your application process. So after the police clearance has gone through and you've been cleared, the next step is actually to pay for your annual practicing certificate, which is like what we do in the UK, where we pay NMC an annual fee to keep our registration valid. So this will cost you about 130 New Zealand dollars to keep your license valid for 1 year, and after which you can now practice as a nurse in New Zealand. So congratulations to you. Alright, so at this point, you are a nurse in New Zealand, but obviously this video is about converting your license to Australia. The last step now is to fill in your Trans-Tasman Mutual Recognition Act form and submit it to AFRA together with your identity documents, annual practicing certificate, New Zealand license, and pay 450 AUD, and in a few weeks time you will get your Australian nursing license. Alright? So, and there you go. So that's just the process in a nutshell. I know in some parts I did prolong and I did expand because those are the parts I'm currently going through. Just start with the CGFNS bit, and as you finish those stages, I'd be able to share more information about the next steps. Just a quick disclaimer, guys, all these bits I have done some research. I have asked some colleagues about their own experiences as well, but there might be some changes in the future, so please do your own research as necessary. And hope you like this video. If it helped you in any way, please don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and share this video to at least one friend. If you got any questions, just comment down below. And if you're from my TikTok account, again, just visit my TikTok account, comment, and I might be able to answer in a quick video as well. Till next time, peace!